This video will explain the user experience settings available for a quiz. To change these settings, go to the Experience tab on a quiz. The first setting available is Allowed Modes. Practice mode will show the user their answers and the feedback immediately after answering a question. Exam mode will display this information once the entire attempt is submitted. If you enable timed exam, you will be able to set a timer for the exam or attempt, and this will submit the attempt automatically once that time is reached. Next, we have allowed lengths. Before a user starts the quiz attempt, they will be given the option to take a subset of questions based on the lengths that you allow here. So for example, if you select short and medium along with all questions, users will either be able to take all questions in this quiz, 10 of those questions, or 25 of those questions. It's important to note that the shorter length questions, short, medium, long, and extra long, will not be available for quizzes with sections in. Here you can, under the timer section, you can select how long a user has to complete the attempt, whether that's an overall time for the entire attempt, such as an hour, or if you enable section timers, you can give each section its own timer, and that is set on the sections menu. The soft timer means that once the timer you set expires, a user won't have their attempt automatically submitted. They will be able to continue until they submit themselves. Enforced full time means that a user will not be able to submit before the time that you have specified. It will be automatically submitted once that time is reached. Allowing students to practice by tag means that if you have tags, faceted tags on the questions in your quiz, you can allow users to filter the questions that are going to appear in their attempt by the different facet areas. If you only select subject, for example, they will only be able to filter by the subject tags on those questions. Under the security section, you can disable copying and pasting by keyboard shortcut or right-clicking. You can also disable right-clicking, which will stop users being able to open the context menu by right-clicking like this. Under navigation, you can prevent users from navigating back to a previously submitted question or skipping ahead beyond the next question. If you do this, then a user won't be able to, for example, go from question 10 to question 15, or from question 10 back to question 9. They will only be able to go from question 10 to question 11, and then at question 11 to question 12. Disabling the control panel means that users will not be able to access the tools in the right-hand side of the screen, such as discarding the attempt, any of the tools available here, such as calculator and notepad, or the question breakdown. Disabling notifications means that Synap notifications will not be available when taking this quiz, so that includes a warning before submitting the attempt. Enabling yes on soft sections means that users will be able to go back to a previously submitted section, but they will not be able to edit their response. Selecting no means that they will not be able to go back to a previously submitted section. They will only be able to move on to the next one. Shuffling sections will mean that each user has their sections in a different order, same with shuffling questions. You can enable a standard or scientific calculator in that control panel on the right. You can also enable a notepad where users can make notes which won't be saved or marked. You can enable strike through, which allows users to strike through options they don't want to consider and focus on ones that they think might be correct. Highlighting will allow users to highlight parts of the text in the question. Bookmarking will allow users to leave a bookmark on a question that they want to return to later. Lab values will allow you to insert a resource accessible via the quiz control panel, such as a periodic table. Flagging allows users to leave feedback for you on a question, such as flagging a typo or a poorly worded question. The microphone settings will allow users to choose which microphone they want to use for their audio recording questions if they have more than one. Showing available marks will show users how many marks are available for each question. And finally, the pinned message will be a message which is permanently displayed at the bottom of the screen during a user's quiz attempt. Final thing to note on quiz settings is that if you're using a static exam, then the settings that you have on the quiz will be pulled through onto the exam settings page, but this will not happen if you're using dynamic exam.